Hey everyone, good Wednesday. I'm First Warn 5 Chief Meteorologist Luke Doris. The time is 7 after 9. Looking live over a beautiful Kansas City. It is just gorgeous out there today. This is over the plaza. And sunshine, low 70s. We've got it made. But hey, things will be changing. So we've got a stormy pattern ahead. It all starts tomorrow. It's going to be going for several days. We have multiple powerhouse low pressure systems that are going to be swinging through our area, bring the risk of storms, severe weather, flooding, a lot, all right, for several days. So let's get to work here. I want you to know, too, I've got Facebook up, and if you have any questions throughout this, please just shoot them to me, and I'll read them. And I'll probably answer them more at the end, but we're going to walk through this all, and I want you to ask any questions that you may have. Okay, so active pattern ahead. It all starts for tomorrow. There we go. So we have a first warn for tomorrow. So we have two tiers of alerts. A first warn means weather could play a role in your day. A first warn weather day is our top alert, and that means, hey, this could be something significant. We could have severe weather, we could have flooding, we could have that kind of thing. So Thursday, I expect storms, but the severe risk is not that high yet. So we'll say storms are likely. Friday and Saturday stand out. These are our first warn weather days, our top alert days. This is where we do have a severe risk. We have heavy rain, really heavy rain possible, especially Saturday night. And then Sunday, severe weather is still possible. We're not out of the woods. Sunday's kind of iffy. Depends on what happens Saturday, essentially, and how quickly this whole system wants to move out. But Sunday has a first warn. It could be upgraded later, too, to a first warn weather day if it were to continue to look nasty. But again, it looks iffy. Here's the weather charts. So showing you Thursday, storms likely at times. Friday, storms likely at times. Saturday, again, first warn weather day, Friday and Saturday. Saturday comes in with some really heavy rain possible. And then Sunday, it's still not out of here. I know my face is covering up Sunday, but we still have storms around. So 50, 60, 70% rain chances over the next 4 days, but it won't rain this entire time. I know some of you are looking at your plans for Friday and Saturday and Sunday and thinking, got to cancel them all. Maybe not, maybe not. I'll walk you through that, let you know what to expect. Before we get there, let's talk about the rain potential. This is the total between right now and Sunday night, and it's really high. 2, 3, 4 inches of rain. I think a lot of this is going to fall on Saturday night, and where we get storms to kind of set up in a track, it's what we call training thunderstorms. Like, again, they're on a train track. That's where we're going to get repeated rounds of really heavy rain, and that's where we have potential. I'm not saying that this will happen. I'm just saying this is the potential. This is what we want you to be prepared for of flooding. You get 4 inches of rain in a short amount of time, it'll likely flood on you. So we'll be watching for that. Here's Thursday. This is tomorrow. Now, the severe risk is primarily western Kansas, western Oklahoma, northern Texas, north up there by the panhandle of Texas. Now, it does clip part of our coverage area. So if you're in Lawrence, Ottawa, and Garnett, you do have a low chance at some severe weather before midnight on Thursday. But it's kind of difficult to explain that by just looking at this map. So I'll show you what it looks like on the future radar. Okay, here we are overnight tonight. Things are quiet, maybe a few patchy showers. Here's tomorrow morning. This is 9 o'clock. I'm thinking most of us in Kansas City and points east are going to make it to work okay without too much trouble on Thursday morning. If you're in Lawrence and Ottawa, you could start to deal with that line of storms. You see it coming in out of Kansas. That's the first of two that will come from Kansas. Heavy thunderstorms here and rather widespread, but we don't yet have the ingredients lined up for severe weather. I'm not saying it's zero. We could have a warning or two in there. These could be strong storms. But the severe risk, widespread severe storms, not really expected during the daylight hours on Thursday. For those of us that are east of Lawrence, probably more late morning, early afternoon. You can see that. That's heavy stuff. That's by lunchtime tomorrow. A little bit different looking than today, but it won't do it all day long. Watch as we get into the evening. There's 4 or 5 o'clock. That one scoots out. So brief round of some storms and some strong ones. Watch what happens as we get into Thursday night while a lot of us are sleeping. This is just past midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning on Friday. That round could be severe. That is the storms that blow up in Kansas late afternoon in Kansas, and then they push our way. And now we have the ingredients in place for this round to potentially be strong to severe. So this is the beginning of the severe risk. This is Friday, anytime on Friday from 1 o'clock in the morning until Friday night, severe weather is possible. It won't do it that whole time. That's just saying that the ingredients will be in place. Within this, we have the risk for hail and high winds, of course, but there's also a tornado threat on our Friday. So a few isolated tornadoes are possible. Storms may want to rotate. I'll show you that here in just a second. Gusts to 60, quarter-size hail or larger. They could be certainly larger than that. Saturday, I was going to show you the severe risk. We've had a nationwide outage with our weather graphics system. It's not showing you Saturday, but Saturday also has a level 2 out of 5 risk across the area. And Sunday, I was going to show you this too. It's not displaying. Sunday, the line cuts from basically like Bethany to Kansas City down to Garnett. That would be the line of severe weather potential. So it's still there for our coverage area. Here's starting at Friday. So now let's get into this kind of severe threat, this timing. How much rain, how much total rain? I'm seeing this on Facebook. 2 to 4 inches right now. I just showed a map. I'll go through this a second time, so hang with me and you'll see that map again. All right, so here's Friday morning, 6 a.m. This line could be severe, could have a couple of strong storms in it. Not the whole line, but just in pockets, some strong to severe storms there. I really think a lot of Friday we'll catch some quiet hours. You know, storms kind of come and go, but mainly morning. I think it's a 2-hit kind of day. You get around in the morning, and then you get around late afternoon. This is 5 o'clock. This is not necessarily widespread. I don't think everybody gets hammered on Friday, but within these cells that do form on Friday, they've got a lot of potential to produce strong, impactful weather and that tornado threat. Whenever you see these by themselves, look at this one that's over here by Richmond and Odessa, another one up there by Bethany. If they can do that and not all share energy, then they can be even stronger. Even though there are fewer of them, they get more energy, they can be even stronger. Now let's get into your Saturday. I know you saw Saturday's rain chance in the chart that I showed earlier, and you're thinking, uh-oh, Saturday's a washout. I don't think so. I think much of Saturday is dry and warm. We're going to be in the low 80s and sunshine and windy, gusts to 35 miles per hour. Not horrible, but just kind of windy. It won't be until late in the day on Saturday. So I'm thinking Friday, late day, Friday night, through much of Saturday up till about 4 o'clock is a dry stretch. Now we get to Saturday night. Look at that. All right, this is 5 o'clock. And we get into strong storms and repeated rounds. Watch overnight Friday. You see the pink showing up there? That's incredibly heavy rain that the forecast models are displaying. So what we may get into is round after round after round of strong storms through Saturday evening and Saturday night. Within that, you could still have severe weather mixed in with a flood threat. And then Sunday, this is 9 o'clock, storms still possible. And it's drawing away. You can see the brighter greens are further to the east, especially Sunday afternoon. I think our better rain chance would be, or storm chance would be Sunday morning at this point, but we still have to watch Sunday. So we'll it's several days out. We'll be updating that. Here's the wind gust. Tomorrow's kind of windy, maybe a gust of 30, 35. Friday's pretty windy, 45. Saturday and Sunday, just so you know, for your dry time and your weekend plans, whenever we are in between storms, gusts are still going to be on the high side. This is right now, my goodness, is it gorgeous. 70 and sunshine, light winds. Oh, today was wonderful. I hope that you enjoyed it. Just a beautiful day. Here's another look. This is our Aetna First Warn weather cam. And I believe this is I-70 at Independence. And it's nice to see everything all grained up. Temperatures 60s and 70s still. This is, again, 717. High temperatures for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a cooler day. Because of that rain coming through, we'll probably keep it in the low 60s to upper 50s. Even though we've got a warm southeast wind, I don't think tomorrow's going to be nearly as warm as today. Here's your 7-day forecast, and I'll go back to the top. Should I pull out the kayak, Justin Scott? Yeah, you might want to on Saturday night, Sunday morning. 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, again, is a first warn. I'm thinking thunderstorms, good bet for them. Could be pretty heavy, but severe threat, probably not that high until Friday, anytime Friday from 1 o'clock in the morning until Friday, we'll say 8, 9, something like that. Saturday, 70% rain chance. That's the highest chance on the board. But still, much of your Saturday's dry. It's not until we get to Saturday night, Saturday evening, and Saturday night where it really looks to pour on us. And Sunday's kind of a 50-50 at this point. We're warm after tomorrow. Tomorrow's cool at 62. Then it's 70s and 80s. Look at Saturday at 81. Storms are out of here by Monday. We're back into sunshine. Next week looks really pleasant. So let's go back to the top, and I'll go through this one more time. Let's see. I'll take a look at some of the questions here before I go back to the top. How much rain? I'm going to show you that here in just a second. What else do we have? Incoming half-inch of rain. I hope it's a half-inch of rain. It looks like a lot more than that. Okay. Back up to the top we go. We'll redo it in case you missed the start. All right. So here's the breakdown. I mentioned this earlier, but we have not one but two. There's two storm systems coming through, and they're both really powerful. We start to feel the first one tomorrow. It's not quite here yet, but it's going to bring thunderstorms. First warn, that means thunderstorms, not necessarily severe, but the severe risk does go up Friday and Saturday because severe weather, heavy rain, flooding, all of that is possible. That's why we have our top alert, the first warn weather day. I want you to be prepared. Worst case scenario, we get severe weather, we get flooding. Not saying that will happen. I'm saying that's a certain possibility right now. Sunday, still storm chance, still even a severe chance on Sunday. So we'll carry out that first warn. Rain chances. Do we know the tornado risk for Saturday? I just got to ask this. Yeah, I do. I'm going to show you that here in just a moment. Okay, so rain chances the next 4 days. You can see this is what we look at behind the scenes, showing you just regular old weather data that we meteorologists look at. And Thursday at times, storms, first warn. Friday, Saturday, first warn weather day. Strong storms possible there, stronger than Friday. A lot of really heavy rain Saturday night. Sunday, you can see how it's starting to draw away, but still we're not out of the woods, so a first warn weather day. This is the rain question. Is the Royals game going to be washed out tomorrow? Well, it's at, 12:10? I think 12:10 is the Royals game tomorrow. That's right about the time that the storms are looking to come through tomorrow. It could be. Tomorrow could be washed out. We will see. I'm looking at Facebook questions. Okay, total rainfall between now and Sunday. This is not a computer-generated forecast. This is a meteorologist-generated forecast. And what we look at a whole bunch of different weather models and get an idea of, not going to the top end, but just what is most likely to happen. And these are big numbers. So I can show you weather models that are higher than this, but 2, 3, 4 inches of rain, not out of the question. I'll show you. Let's see if I can pull up another one of my this is not a human forecast. It's a computer forecast. And we can compare for this rain. Let's try this. This will take me just a second, but I'd like to show you. Let's go through Sunday at 9 p.m. Because I think this could be the biggest event of the whole thing would be the rain. And I will change a couple things for you here. Give me just a moment. We will go with the Euro. Sorry, everybody, just a second here. I'm going to show you some more rain totals. And let's see what this is putting out. This is me just, calling an audible. We're just going to check the raw computer data and see what it puts out. Okay, so Thursday. See, it's got 2. This is it says through Thursday morning. I just haven't edited the graphic. This one's not as high. It's good to see. Let me compare that with another one and see what it has. All right. And okay, this one's much higher. So you get the idea. It's weather. So, where these storms set up is going to mean everything for who gets the heaviest of the rain. So this is one of our more reliable long-range weather models. This is long-range stuff that we're looking at. You see 4, 5, 6 inches. Will it happen? It all depends on where these storms set up on what they're called training storms. And what happens is there's a boundary of some kind, a warm front. Usually it's warm fronts, but it could be just what we call a trough of low pressure. That's where storms fire over this boundary. It's like a trigger mechanism, and they just keep going and keep going and keep going, and then they move along that line called training thunderstorms like they're on a train track. Nobody can tell you where that will set up. All right, even like right before it happens, it's really difficult to pin down. But when it begins, you see it. And there's a potential for that to happen over the Kansas City area, over the KCTV5 coverage area. So again, this is not a human forecast. This is a computer forecast. Let me compare that to the human forecast, which is here. And you can see it's a little bit more sober. All right, 2, 3, 4. The other one that we had was like 2, 2.5 inches. Somewhere in between there. Regardless, it looks like a lot of heavy rain. Will it be extreme? It's possible. It's possible. Most of that would be on Saturday night. Okay. Check these questions here. 7 inches for Chillicothe, maybe. I mean, it's not out of the question. I wouldn't forecast that, but that all depends on if you get repeated rounds of strong storms right over your backyard. Kind of a low odds situation. Let's see, Royals game, we've got that. Hope it's much less in my backyard. The tornado risk on Saturday, that's coming up here in just a minute. Any other questions you guys have? I'm up on Facebook. We're doing a live stream. Hit me up on that, and I'll answer the questions for you. So Thursday, the primary risk is to our west in Kansas. This is tomorrow. There is a low risk for some strong storms on the western side of our coverage area that includes Lawrence, Ottawa, and Garnett. I'll show that to you here. All right, so this is overnight. It's pretty quiet. Here's tomorrow morning. It looks like the morning commute for a lot of us is just patchy showers, but you do see storms coming in out of Kansas, moving into the Kansas side of the metro and of our coverage area, and those will be the ones that impact us most on Thursday. All right, so we asked about the Royals game earlier. It's 12:10, I believe, his first pitch. This is 12 o'clock, and heavy rain. It's not impossible to have some severe weather in here, but the ingredients aren't quite in place yet. And then by Thursday afternoon, this is 4 or 5 o'clock, it's probably pulling away. So we will not have a washout tomorrow all day, but at times it's going to be pretty heavy duty. Now we get into our Thursday night, Friday morning. This round is the round that goes severe. I showed you this severe map. Let me show it to you again. This one right here. This is these storms that form late in the day off of what we call the dry line in western Kansas, western Oklahoma. Then they all get pushed east. They don't arrive here. So these are the severe ones. They don't arrive here until Thursday night while a lot of us are sleeping. That's this round. Okay, that one could be severe. Now we're in the severe portion of the event. Okay, so this is Friday. Friday, level 2 out of 5 risk. Currently, this could get upgraded. We will see. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying it's possible. Hail, high winds, and there is a tornado threat. The way that we can determine if there's a tornado threat is the winds in the atmosphere. Low-level winds going at a different direction than the upper-level winds, and that causes what it's called shear, and then cells want to rotate. So different parts of the storm feel different levels or different directions of wind, and because of that, they have to twist. It like literally pushes them over, and they twist and spin. And that's how you can get a tornado threat. Whenever you have rotation, you have spin. Now, here's your risk for Friday. You know, we'll put it in kind of the mid-grade category right now with wind and hail. It could be some big hail in there. Tornado threat is there. It's on the table. Anytime you're talking tornadoes, it's a notable risk. So a few tornadoes possible at this point. I don't think it's an outbreak for us right now, but it is possible. Okay, here's Saturday's risk. Also a level 2 out of 5. On the risk level, it's the same. But I don't see much of a tornado threat on Saturday for us in the Kansas City and KCTV5 coverage area at this point because those winds that I mentioned, they're all kind of going the same direction. We don't see as much twist right now. I think big hail, I think damaging winds, but I think Saturday's big thing is going to be the rain. Saturday night's rain that I'll show you in a minute looks tremendous. Here's Sunday. It's starting to pull away from us, but we do still have that chance for severe weather on Sunday. It's looking conditional is what we call that. It kind of depends on what happens on Saturday. These may blow out of here early on Sunday morning. We hope. We will see, but it's not a guarantee. So let's go through it on forecast track on future radar. So this is Friday morning, 6 a.m. This is along a warm front, and essentially these could already be severe. I mentioned anytime on Friday, storms that go could be strong to severe. I don't think all of these will be. Not everybody's going to get hit real hard Friday morning, but yeah, it's possible. And then a big chunk of the day, you saw, I'll just kind of take my time with this. We'll scroll slowly. See how much of the day it's just kind of patchy? I don't think Friday's a big, super rainy day much of the day, but when they go, they could really go. This is by 5 p.m., commute home on Friday, getting ready for the weekend, and you don't see widespread storms, but what you do see are these spots, these little cells, and these cells would have all the energy to themselves. These could be what we call supercell thunderstorms. Those are the granddaddy of all thunderstorms. These are the ones that could spin and rotate and chuck hail and maybe produce tornadoes. So that's why we have the high chance for, in the first warned weather day for Friday, the potential for these to be extra nasty. They certainly could be. Then we get into your Friday evening, looks rather quiet. We catch a dry gap. That's the first of two lows, is really, we begin to feel it tomorrow. It kind of peaks on Thursday night into Friday afternoon, and then it moves out by Friday evening, and now we're in a break. This is Saturday morning. We're in between storm systems. Much of your Saturday is sunshine and warm and windy until, so if you have plans on Saturday, I think, 1 o'clock, fine. No problem. 10 o'clock in the morning, fine. 5 o'clock, gets iffy. All right, now here come the storms again. This is that second one moving by. These could be strong to severe, and I think the way I see it, the biggest threat from this whole thing might be this Saturday night. You see how bright the colors are? That's really heavy rain, and notice where they want to line up, kind of right over our area, and they would be one after another after another. If it plays out this way, that's how we would get these really high numbers, rain total numbers. And by Sunday morning, there it is, still a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Again, trying to move off to the east, but you see the brighter colors over by Sedalia and Benton County, places like that. We may be clearing out by Sunday afternoon. It just depends on how fast these storms want to move out, but it's not in the clear. That's why we have the first warn on Sunday. Here's your wind gusts. Windy stretch. Tomorrow's not terrible, but Friday's pretty windy at 45 mile per hour wind gusts, 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts through the weekend. Maybe that helps with your planning too, even whenever we have those dry times. There's the live view now on a beautiful Wednesday. Oh, it was great. 70, light breezes, clear skies. I love it. Here's another one. Just green everywhere, sunshine, 60s and 70s. What a nice evening. I'd get out and enjoy this if I could. Go for a walk or something. High temperatures tomorrow down quite a lot. Low 60s, upper 50s. That's because of the rain coming through, kind of in the peak heating of the day. And your 7-day, then we're going to get through some questions. All right, on Facebook. 7-day forecast here. Tomorrow's the coolest day in there, and then it's 70s and 80s the whole way through. Storms are out of here by Monday. Next week looks really nice. We'll be ready to get away from the storms by then, I do believe. So that's the breakdown, everybody. Now I'm going to scooch over to Facebook and see if I missed any questions. All right, we've got a school secretary, and she's there to make everybody aware of severe weather. Friday, Friday, be extra alert and have a way to get warnings. You can get them on the KCTV5 weather app. They'll push right to you, totally free. You can also see future radar, like I use it at home. It's great. Rain chances KC noon to 3 on Saturday. Noon to 3 on Saturday looks good. I think sunshine, I think warm and windy. It's not until we get to late in the day on Saturday that we have the high rain chance. It is pretty high Saturday night. Let's see if I missed anything else. Let's see here. Royals game, we touched on that one. Tornado risk for Saturday is not high at this point. Let's see. Storm chances for tomorrow. Tomorrow's storm chances are pretty high. I don't think severe. It's not impossible, but generally just thunderstorms for tomorrow. Fairly widespread, mainly late morning into lunchtime's probably prime time, and by early afternoon they're moving out. Okay, I think I got everybody in there. All right, everybody, that is the latest. That's the breakdown. That's why you're going to hear a lot about the storms coming up. It's going to be a number of them with 2 back-to-back strong storm systems and severe weather and heavy rain and all that. So we hope that it doesn't pan out and it fizzles. Sometimes these things on paper look like they're just really going to go bonkers, and then something happens and they don't produce like you would expect. That does happen, but I'm just letting you know that right now this is how it looks. It looks rather stormy. I showed you what we look at behind the scenes with the computer forecast. They're really good, and we just want you prepared for the possibility of severe weather and the likelihood of thunderstorms, even if they're not severe through the stretch, and that heavy rain threat. Okay, we've got a monster truck show on Friday. On Friday, I think. Okay, everybody, I'll have updates for you. All of our data, it updates constantly, and I'll have new information coming up at 10 o'clock on KCTV. I'll see you then. Have a good night.